Greetings and salutations, Dota fans. It is I, Badger, back for some more League of Legends Season 9 action. And I am joined tonight by the captain, one of the greatest, if not the greatest mid laner in last history, Season 8 champion, ColonelSquid. How are you tonight?
Oh, well, Badger. Bit of a high and mighty title. I don't know if I can claim that. But
Well, you're not claiming it. I am. So
I
all's
see.
well. I'm just here to hype up my co-commentators, don't worry.
Well, then that means I'm with the best pause 5 that Lads has ever seen and will ever see.
There's a difference between there's a difference between hyping up your co-commentators and like lying to the audience. Like our greatest Abaddon that's never seen. You have to go with that
Yes.
one, but greatest
Yes.
pause 5 is no, not in the slightest.
Pause 5 is an easy roll anyway. Smile.
It actually kind of is.
Not difficult at all.
That's why I'm playing 5 and not another roll.
Buy salves, win game.
I have. I mean, the problem is sometimes I don't find enough salves. So.
Yep. If you playing pause 5 and you think something's going wrong and you're buying less than 10 salves in the first 10 minutes, maybe it's that.
I know when this is the fun part of playing Abaddon. It's not have to necessarily buy as many salves. I just can just skill and discoil if I need to. And that's just like that's a salve in an ability. Problem solved.
Problem solved. Some very, very needed bans coming out from the Dire. I think that this tiny ban definitely needed to happen. But that does leave in some other highly contested heroes like the Omni Knight. Jakiro's been taken.
Yeah, it's one of the more highly contested supports in general for amateur leagues. Regardless of how good Jakiro is, people just contest Jakiro in amateur leagues, and Lads is no different in that sense.
Yeah, because if your spellcasting isn't pristine on Jakiro, it still can have a lot of impact in fights, just with the area denial. I mean, it's strong in lane, really good in team fights, so it's always going to be a good hero. And the natural response of Rubik, very often the Jakiro counter, because the Ice Path is almost always guarantees you a win fight. It's just so potent. And you take Ricky.
That is interesting. I know it's a hero that Nier likes to play. I don't know if it's going to be that good, but I know Nier likes to play it, and given that the Feast of US East are number 1 in their group, maybe they're ready to experiment a little bit, but...
Yeah. I think they definitely have secured upper bracket. I don't know if they're guaranteed first seed. I think they're probably kind of close.
I'm on it. 1 second.
Actually, no, they're not close. Hobbs' team is tied with them in terms of points, and they only have 1 less series played. So,
yeah, Hobbs' team can make it. So can
Ka.
Nah, Ka has no series.
Oh no, Ka. Yeah, never mind.
So it's only Hobbs' team, I think.
If they win 1 game, I don't think FN can catch them.
Gee, I guess if a team like Andy Bendy just like runs the table, they could end up with 15 wins. If you run the table, then this could be where it starts. I mean, say you beat a Ricky 1 game, you win 4 or 5 next game. Maybe Pig Trotters could still, because right now they're number 5 seeded in Group A, but it's really tight there in that like 3 through 7 pack of teams. So this is a difference for Pig Trotters between making upper bracket, making lower bracket, potentially even like getting a top 2 seed in their group. This is a big deal for Pig Trotters, and
yeah. I'm kind of surprised by the Medusa pick. Maybe it's just a Jimmy targeted ban, because I wouldn't think, seeing the first 2 picks from Radiant, that Deuce is great. I mean, Ricky probably has one of the better carry methods, being a natural diffusal buyer, and B, Dusa, who likes to stand in one place. If you get the smokescreen talents, your smokescreen gets a 1 second downtime at max. So it can make it really hard for Dusa to do. And kind of shocked DP made it all the way to the 2nd phase. That hero has been really, really strong, especially at high level play, and even in labs, I've seen a lot of DP, I know. At least
it's a very reliable hero. I mean, it's just incredibly stable, if nothing else. It's very hard for a DP to do nothing in a game, and right now, Pig Trotters have a nice little reliable team fight combination we put together. They've got DP spells, Mars spells, and whenever Rubik steals, ideally Ice Path, but if not that, Macropyre, Ricky Cloud, a bunch of good spells to steal, and then you have this really good run at the opponent, use spells, win the game type situation there.
DP also always like something that is always nice from VP is it sort of gives you timings to play around. Like I always feel like when I'm playing a hero like DP or a hero like Night Stalker, where you have very very clear timings of when you're strong and when you're not, it can give you really nice, like a nice idea of when to farm and when to fight. And they go mid Earth Spirit for Breezy R.
I was gonna say this is a very flexible hero in general because they have a lot of Earth Spirit players. Breezy R plays at mid.
Yes,
Jinx
I think
plays
Jinx
at
can
4.
play at 4.
He has played a 4 this season as well, so they can flex around the Earth Spirit depending on, hey, we can go Earth Spirit to go mid. But right now, they don't necessarily know what Pig Trotters are doing mid, which is probably why they're drafting these flexible heroes, because could be DP mid, could be Mars mid, could be a to be determined mid hero. There's a lot of options for what Pig Trotters do mid here.
I would be shocked if this isn't an Earth Spirit. It looks like a very nice Earth Spirit mid game, assuming it is DP mid, because DP can't super pressure Earth Spirit. When I think of the really rough Earth Spirit lanes, think of someone with like giga high. Like I know when I did a little bit of testing on it, my least favorite matchups were like Quap and Invoker, who just have so much more regen than you that can force you out of lane before you're level 6 and you want to leave the lane. But DP can't threaten you that much. Even the Spirit Siphon, you can just kick her away.
Wait a minute. They've thrown us a curveball. It's Chaos Knight, which means it's more than likely going to be the CK offlane Ricky carry. I think if this were a different team, I'd be inclined to say CK carry Ricky offlane, but this is not a different team. This is the Feast of US East. The Beast of US East would not be caught dead playing Ricky AFK in a lane with Meteor Hammer and Sleeping Dart. He would rather like jump off a bridge than do that. So it's definitely CK offlane.
Yeah, I would definitely be inclined to agree. The greatest CK game, and that is a really nice Lash pick.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot worse now that there's this Leshrac pick, and I mentioned it as well as viable flexibility. It could be DP mid, Mars mid, or a to be determined mid hero. This is probably going to be the mid Leshrac, but it could still be a side lane Leshrac. There's a lot of options here.
I would be inclined to say this is a Jimmy Leshrac, although I do not know if he's going to play 1 or 2. I think he has played it both this season. I believe he and Andy switched, if I remember correctly, although I think Jimmy favors the safe lane and Andy Bendy favors the mid.
Yeah, similar to Roll Swap a few seasons ago, where all 3 cores are willing to swap, though we have seen, in general, Tint not swap. But he has swapped to safe lane a few games.
Has that been sort of like roll swapping or just lane swapping? I haven't.
A little bit of both. Okay.
Okay.
I remember there was one game where Tint was playing this Medusa. He was farming the safe lane. And he didn't necessarily have the greatest support help, but he was still playing like a safe lane Medusa, so...
Yeah, Tint is originally a safe lane player, from what I remember, so I don't think it's that unusual for him to play safe lane. I know Jimmy's a very, very flexible player.
Speaking about Jimmy, this is a guy who's recently been like a top 150 leaderboard guy. Played this season of DPC Close Qualifiers from carry role. The DPC Close Qualifiers before that on 5 support. So he's able to swap from whatever he needs to do. But
Pugna.
Yeah, this Pugna pick surprises me.
Pretty strong Pugna pick, actually.
I like it a lot.
That means it's Earth Spirit 4. Yeah, it's not a Breezy or mid Earth Spirit. I think you are fine with the DP Pugna for both sides, honestly. That seems like a farm trade. I think if you're Pig Trotters, you maybe send this Lesh as a support or DP as a support. I think both can be mid, and then you pick up like, I can't think of a pause 1, but like some pause 1 that just the game looks really good for. Like, I want to say something like an anti-mage, like, because it has good matchups against pretty much everybody but Ricky. But I don't think that's the pick.
Problem is, it's a really bad matchup into Ricky, and like Ricky can easily set up on the AM, and these other heroes can arrive before AM gets out of the cloud. I see Ricky Cloud into Earth Spirit.
What about
Bowl,
something like Path. A PL?
I like
Could be a decent PL game if you're looking to 24 carry.
I guess a similar problem to AM, but the upside's much higher.
Yeah. I mean, you could always go for something stable like Jug. Jug always seems been picked a lot more recently.
Or they could grab Jug's better cousin, Lifestealer, as well. It's always an option.
Yeah, Lifestealer struggles a little bit more with like Decrep and the silences because he doesn't naturally buy Manta, and he doesn't naturally buy as much AoE as Jug does. But it definitely could work.
We've been seeing a lot of pro Lifestealers going for like a 3rd or 4th item BKB recently, and that could work out quite well. So like Armlets into maybe like an Echo Saber into a Deso into a BKB type build, and that's a build that could really easily work. Maybe throw in a Nullifier. And if they go for an entirely different hero, if they go for Timbersaw, which means it will be that. Wait a minute. So it's Jimmy playing the Timbersaw.
Pause 5 DP mid Mars, or they're sending Tint mid, but I think they might be sending Mars mid, which, Mars does not seem like a... Actually, I think Mars could do pretty well against Pugna. I actually don't think that matchup's that bad at all.
My question is, what does Mars do to protect his tier 1 tower mid lane? It feels like Pugna will easily grab it in that matchup.
It's actually... Like, your arena's very threatening for Pugna, because he's really, really squishy. And if he ever tries to life drain, that's the easiest setup for your spear. And like +1 support rotation, like just a DP or just a Rubik, can easily kill Pugna with Arena. But on the flip side, pre-Arena, like I can see Pugna and Earth Spirit having a decent amount of kill potential onto this Mars.
I just like this Radiant side draft. I'm not sure if you're on the same page as I am, but I really prefer the draft here.
I think the biggest thing for me is this Ricky could have a pretty rough game. Timbersaw and Lesh are both pretty good against Ricky, just in terms of killing him. And they have a decent amount of disable. Rubik is probably... Like, there's a lot of nice spells for Rubik to steal. Ice Path, Chaos Bolt, Smoke Cloud's really good. Netherward, a lot of Pugna spells are good. I don't know. I think these are pretty even drafts, but if I were to pick one, I might favor the Dire.
This is good. We're on the opposite page right now. You're thinking Dire, I'm thinking Radiance. I think me and you are seeing the same flaws with this potential Ricky pick. I just think that the Radiant lineup is good enough to overcome Ricky's shortcomings. Or you disagree with that, really?
Well, it just seems to me like it's very easy for Dire to translate one team fights into objectives with Exo, and your Lesh does a lot of tower damage too. But on the side of the Radiant, you really only have Pugna that hits buildings, like, at all. I guess your Pos 5 Jakiro can too, so you're in a similar situation, but I think it's just... I don't know, something about the Dire draft. Like, I can see this Ricky just dying. Especially now that I think they changed the spear so that it now shows, like, invis units. Wasn't that one of the... I think it always did, actually, before the change, but... Like, I guess... I don't know. I also think Timbersaw laning into both CK and Earth Spirit seems like he's gonna have a really fun time.
I agree, but it also is Timbersaw. I'm not sure if I'm more bearish on Timbersaw than most other players, but I really think that Timbersaw just fails to have impact in most games. I think if any game's gonna happen, though, it is this game. There's two strength heroes in lane and a Ricky matchup, but I'm not a real Timbersaw fan. I don't see its impact most of the time. Maybe Jimmy being the best player in the lobby will prove me wrong, but I just don't see it usually.
swap lanes. I thought they were gonna send Andy Bendy mid, but Andy Bendy is actually playing the off lane Mars. They're sending Tint mid on the left. I think this might just be, if I remember correctly, Andy Bendy is not the biggest Mars player. I think between the brothers, Jimmy is definitely the Mars player, or the Lesh player. So they'd rather him be on a comfortable hero in a uncomfortable lane than be the inverse. Getting aggressive bottom lane. This is first blood.
This is first blood. Yeah, I mean, Andy Bendy goes down in the year. First blood drawn by Ricky, and that was exactly what you want on a hero like Ricky. He's a hero who, when ahead, can stay ahead very easily, and the lead is beginning to grow already. Minute 1.
Yeah, they just whittled him away early. I mean, Notorious has already used 4 dual breaths in this lane.
You know what, Squid? I think I end up buying more mangoes in this hero. It's a good mango hero.
Yeah. I mean, that's just every time he uses it, it's 100 damage. And so, even though level 2, it's 200 damage, they wanted to start winning the lane as early as possible.
And especially with a hero like Ricky, you want that level 6 early on. It's huge. I mean, the damage multiplier, the invis, it's such a massive power spike. And
yeah,
at the rate Nier is going, he could have like minute 7, minute 8 sort of area, which is very fine. And ideally, he needs it before Mars is 6. He absolutely needs 6 on Ricky before Mars is 6.
Also, get a nice pull. They didn't block the small camp. Seems that Sauce is also going to counter pull, but I think that this probably favors the Radiant. You're denying... if they deny the creeps at least, you're going to deny a lot of XP.
This bot lane has certainly been probably the most interesting lane so far, but we have not looked too much at top lane. It's this... Nah, they're fine bot lane. But over to top lane is a stun onto Jotunheimer Mortal. The roll comes in from Jinx, but DP should still survive. The damage is high, though not enough for the kill. But look at the lane as a whole. What do you think? What's your thoughts on this top lane?
I don't think anything's gonna happen. I think Jimmy's gonna get a lot, and I think the Beast can't really do much about it. I don't really see either core killing each other. I think the most likely to die is probably this DP. But to be honest, the DP doesn't really need to be in this lane. Like, the Timber has already gotten to his level 2 reactive armor. He's chilling. Like, this might even be a time when you tell your DP, hey, just go staff, honestly. I don't want you in this lane. I want to hit 6, and then I actually can push away people.
That's what I figured, but you never know what you're missing sometimes. Apparently I was missing absolutely nothing with that lane. Very boring lane. In the mid lane, it's Pugna and Leshrac, 2 notorious T1 tower hitting middle laners, and there's been a lot of spells being cast both directions. Water runes have been high priority for both teams, but I don't think Tint's gotten a single water rune so far this game. I think because the top one was denied at minute 2, and the bottom one was denied at minute 4.
He did. He got a water rune.
He got bottom. Oh, get the bottom one there too. Because Jinx and sure didn't get the top one, but I didn't know he also got the bottom one there.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little rough, but I think this is also a farm trade. I think really the action lane is bottom. As you see Beast going on to DP, because that's really the only one he can go on. He's really not in any shape.
Done, but I don't. Maybe it is a kill. To roll in, Rallief is up now, used and down goes Mortal. That's now 2 kills on the board for the Feast of US East. In comes Rook, Jimmy, Salacious Sea Lion 62 looking to trade, but it's only a chain in. He's still not 6, though. He's going in anyways. He's just that tanky. He wants this kill. He will not find it. Over to bot lane. Meanwhile, it was Andy Bendy and Sauce. Out the Notorious and Jakiro dropped to the grave in that case.
Yeah, that's a nice kill for the Dire, but Jakiro's always one of those heroes that it always feels bad to kill, especially when, like Jakiro was, he's on 50 mana, so you basically just gave him a free 400 mana, and potentially a bottle refill for the mid. So, yep. And as we see it, bottle refill for the mid.
The exact same play from both 5s, too. We saw DP die, TP to fill Lesh's bottle, Jakiro die, TP to fill Pugna's bottle. It's a really symmetric game right now in that sense.
Yeah, I think the only difference is Mars is actually allowed to play in lane, while the CK is actually having a jungle level 4, which feels a little bad. It is nice with your lifesteal. Like, you can do it, but you'd much rather be... Like, you can't even get farm under your tower, or you'll just die to this Timber Saw.
Over to mid lane, Roll and Decrep are there on Tint. The kick comes in, Split Earth cancels the life drain, but Tint will turn with Pulse Nova instead. Tanks the Nether Blast, will start over to bot lane meanwhile. It's Nier and Sauce, very low. Looks like nobody will die there, so a lot of aggression in both the bot and the mid lane. They're going to look for Jakiro bot lane. Fade Bolt is up, but the damage is not quite enough. In comes
No,
Jinx.
wouldn't have done it.
He rolls in, missing on Andy Bendy, but Nier has blinked in. Mars will die. Nier survives. In comes Sauce. Man fighting the 1v3. They're all so low. Ice Path misses. Sauce pops his stick. Who will die here? Sauce has Fade Bolt in one, but it will not matter. Nier grabs another kill. As all that happens, they dove with Timbersaw top lane, bringing down the CK.
Yeah, that was so unfortunate. The spear came out a second after the Riki used, or like a millisecond after the Riki used his blink strike. So he actually blinked behind the Mars and dodged the spear on like 100 HP. It definitely would have killed him.
All the lanes have fully degenerated. We've seen Pugna go top lane, CK over to mid lane, Mars to top lane. Everyone's moving at this point. We are officially post-landing phase now.
Yep, lanes have ended pretty quick. I think they're correct to send the Timber against the Riki. The Riki really can't do shit to him. Ricky's going to show right here, and Timber's going to do like 100.
Mars might just die top lane. Silence comes in from Mortal. Andy Bandy is incredibly low, though. He'll continue to fight on level 7 Pugna. Life Drain, Decrep both come in. Mortal is low, though is still alive. In comes the Beast on the wraparound gank. It's the name of the game. They have found Mortal once again. Down goes Death Prophets. Sauce. Look for Dennis might find his own death instead. They're still diving. Chaos Bolt. Life Drain. That is more than enough. Down goes Sauce. Over to mid lane. They're diving there. But Leshrac is now brought under the Radiant T1 tower. Tint is low. Tanks tower and goes down. 3 kills across the map. All in favor of the Feast of US East. And then over to top lane again. Andy Bendy went on a big aggressive play onto Breezy R. Got caught by the Beast once again. Now 4 kills. 4 for 0, all in favor of the side of the Feast. And they want a 5th kill. They're going for Mortal mid lane. Nah, he's fine, but still, that is a massive win for the Radiant side here.
Yeah, it's... Her strong hero is this Timber Saw, and Radiant is doing a really good job of ignoring him. They did give up 2 tier 1s in the process of it, but with the amount of kills they're getting, it definitely seems like it's working out to some extent. I mean, they're actually behind in net worth, but I think there would definitely be ahead in XP.
Well, looks like Pig Trotters want that 3rd and final tier 1 tower, but Breezy R is here to defend it. The ward is dropped, and in come the teammates. Silence comes in on Rook. Her Spirit gets lifted. Timbersaw chains wave. It's in towards the Beast. Timbersaw tanks. Ice Path. Nether Blast. It's enough. Down goes Rook. And now, this T1 tower is alive, and Radiant with the Pugna. Never mind, Pugna is left, but he's still at the tier 1 tower anyways.
Yeah, Pugna doesn't have enough mana to commit
Rita comes in on 2. This is too aggressive, perhaps. Dire collapse immediately, bring down Jinx and Notorious to head for the Beast. But it appears as though he'll be fine. But that is just an over-aggressive play there from the side of the Feast of US East. They just lose 2 kills for nothing.
That was the Timbersaw overestimating exactly how tanky he is, and then the Radiant supports doing the exact same thing back.
The fight continues. Breezy R TP's back towards his middle lane. Ricky arrives. Now it's Dire who are on the run. All 5 of the Radiant are here. Spear is missed thanks to delayed TP. Channel time. And it's just 9 heroes in the mid lane right now. Everybody but Timbersaw is there. Sauce is low. Roll comes in. Earn. Hole. Bring down Rubik. Now it's Ricky fighting with DP as Mars fights an Earth Spirit on the side. Chaos Bolt comes in on Andy Bendy. Nier blinks in. Dodges Spear. Magatize is still going, but Andy Bendy is just so tanky. Ricky blinks in once again, looking for Andy Bendy, and down goes the Mars. Now it's Tints, showing his face, has to back up immediately, but Radiant are still nearby on 3. It's 2 kills for Radiance. They see Leshrac. Roll is up. There is stones on the Earth Spirit, but instead they'll focus on the mid T1 tower. It'll be 2 for 0, and the T1 tower going down in favor of the Radiance.
Really nice sequence of events for the Radiant. Bringing all 5 heroes mid, and sometimes it can feel really bad when you bring all 5 heroes to a lane and the enemy just run away, but they have a lot of chase potential with the super fast Pugna and Earth Spirit Roll and a Ricky Imbus that can get behind them.
Looks like top lane something might... We're seeing pings top lane. Andy Bendy is set up, has the arena, but has no teammates right now.
I think Jimmy's going to TP up, yeah.
Multiple TPs, it's all cores arriving.
Very dead.
Yeah, the arena, the spear, the rebuke, the chakram. Ice Path comes in from the Taurus, and the beast is still alive! They turn, once again, Exo is popped, in comes Jimmy. Andy Bendy is already dead. The trade is for Jakiro. Now in comes Breezyar looking for Mortal. The blast is missed, but they are hunting for DP. Down goes the beast, but Breezyar is still fighting. He wants DP, but he's just dead. Good defense there in the tower. A 3-for-1 trade, and the Radiant side, the Feast of US East, they got a bit too fancy, and they lose 3.
I can't believe the CK didn't die in that initial burst. I think the Ice Path from Jakiro split the Timber from being able to get the Whirling Death onto him. So he didn't take any of that damage. But then in the follow-up, the Timbersaw was able to do a lot, and the DP survived on like 50 HP with his extra one going.
I'm just watching, I'm watching Jimmy having a fun time with these neutral creeps right now.
God, those neutrals are so annoying. He needs to be careful. They definitely are not afraid to go on him. The Jinx also almost has Vessel. He's 200 gold away from it. With a no boots Vessel build. Yeah.
I mean, Jinx has his mind on one thing and one thing alone. It is killing Timbersaw.
Yeah. Timbersaw has gone back to top lane. Trying to use his powerfulness to defend all the towers, but unfortunately that leaves mid open where they go for a little bit of a poke onto Andy Bendy. Nothing quite happens. Sauce in the bottom lane looks pretty dead.
We see Ricky and Rubik dueling. Ricky wins that one quite easily. Sauce did steal, I believe, the Blink Strike from Ricky, but it did not save his life. That is one more kill for Nier, who's now up to 3 kills on the game. 3-0 and 2 Radiance. They've moved to the Dire Tri-Camp. They're beginning to set up some wards and D-wards, and it is game time. Heroes have arrived from the Dire side of the map now.
That is interesting that the Ricky's just going straight Manta and not going for Diffusing.
They want Jimmy top lane. Magatize, Spirit Vessel, both used. Roll comes through and Timbersaw. He will go down, and this man is no longer as tanky as he wants to be. He is dead.
Really strong Vessel timing, and Ricky is poking his head into the triangle. I think he really probably can only kill the Rubik. I think the DP suck is too much. He's actually under a ward.
They have the sentry. They see the Ricky. Dust, lift, arena, spear, silence. Wow. That is one dead Ricky. And Nier, he poked his head a bit too far and was coincidentally under multiple tire obs and sentry pairings. They were more than ready to see him walk all the way up through that tri-camp, and just good play there from Dire to punch that.
Yeah, if I am Nier, I am saying, why do they have sentries here, man? Imagine you're behind a tier 2 at 15 minutes, and they just have a sentry now.
Over the top lane, it's Timbersaw going down again. Vessel.
Man.
Vessel not even used, I don't think, there. Apparently Vessel was used, never mind. But that's another death from Timbersaw. But speaking of the tri-camp, they clearly did not do their homework on Mortal. This man is a serial warder and sentry placer. They had to have been ready for that one.
That's crazy. Bottom lane, A little bit of
it's
a duel.
CK trying to fight, but it's also a CK into a Lestrange, so CK's illusions are forfeit. Tint is running forward, looking for the CK, and he will go down. Or maybe not. Armlet,
the armlet
toggled, stun. No, it's still too much with the Pulse Nova damage. As that happened, top lane, Andy Bendy went down to the Pugna Jakiro Earth Spirit Triumvirate, who is beginning to slowly siege that top tier 2 tower.
Yeah, Earth Spirit's a support you love to have. Pugna type hero that Pugna, Zeus, Tinker, anybody that wants to throw lots of magic damage from the backline, but doesn't really want to get going on. And they also have this nice Jakiro to follow up as well. This Pugna's kind of low.
Then comes Jimmy again, bringing down Jakiro, and now they want more kills. Arena is up, and they certainly want Breeziar. Yep, Arena committed, Spear missed, but the result is the same. 2 kills for the Dire, now it's Nier, who's there under a Dire Sentry Ops combination once again. Split Earth hits, and Ricky goes down again!
What a
Another
split
kill
Earth.
for Pig Trotters.
That was such a nice
split Earth.
I mean, they had dust on him, but like, it was a hasted Ricky that he hit with the splitter. He predicted that Ricky was going to try to go down here and use his tricks of the trade to go over the cliff.
The perfect read from Tint then. I mean, that's brilliant right there. And these big individual plays in the last minute and a half or so have actually led to Dire having a net worth lead once again. They're 1k up, and I mean, it's been back and forth this game, and yeah, the graph is having a bit of an episode right now. It's going up and down rapidly, and I guess we can blame Pig Trotters and the Feast DOCs for that one.
Indeed. It's one of those games that feels weird on Timbersaw, because on one hand, against the Pugna and the Earth Spirit, you want this Yules, but against the Ricky, Yules is pretty bad. Because you could just... You Yules yourself up, and then you put the smoke cloud under it, and you're like, well, I have no way to get out.
Yeah, it's certainly not ideal. I mean, he's got to build for somebody. He's like, you know what? Maybe I'll build tanky for the Ricky, but it doesn't mean, as you mentioned, he has no use for the other heroes there. Over to the Radiant side jungle. Radiant has smoked into it. Spear comes in on Ricky. Dire died the tower, but in comes the Radiant to respond. Ricky is low, but he's immediately dead to the Fade Bolt damage, and now they lift up Jinx in the air, but Jinx does not care. He's fighting. In comes the Beast, headed for Mars. Down goes Andy Bendy, and now both teams commit everything. Jinx goes down. Mortal will die as well in the DP. Now it's a 2-for-2 trade with Dire on the run. They've lost to their DP and Mars. They're in the east side of the Radiant jungle. It looks like Radiant will not be able to pursue them hard enough in this case.
I think that's the first time I've seen the Pugna Shark used to such effect, and holy shit, that did so much. He put down his Nether Ward, and then he used his Life Drain on the Nether Ward, and I mean, it just... It was an insane amount of damage. It was on like 4 heroes that his Life Drain was going on to.
It's the new tech coming in handy for the Breeziar Pugna.
Yeah. That's... Huh.
Speaking of Breeziar, he is unknowingly walking into his death right now. Yep, that is a Blink Spear from Andy Bendy under the shadow of a Dire Side Observer Ward. Mortal silences. Tint has split Earth, hitting it just in time to cancel the TP, and down goes Breeziar. And now it's once again, it's Pig Trotters with the net worth lead. This is back and forth, and the graph... Okay, this time it's keeping it all Dire, but it's not. The graph is not happy tonight. The graph is not happy with our Dota game. You mentioned earlier, though, Ricky is going straight Manta. He has the Manta finished into a BKB build. Give me your thoughts on this Ricky builder.
It's very defensive, but I see his justification for it. His justification is that even if he has this Diffusal, they have so much AoE, like an insane amount of AoE with Timbersaw, Lesh cores. Even if you're invis and they don't see you, they can 100 zoom you. And so he needs this Manta and BKB to actually be able to...
In comes the Beast, down goes Mortal, and in comes a Ricky looking for Jimmy on the Timbersaw. Roll from long range barely hits. Arena comes in on 2, but Timbersaw is just so low. Magnetized popped, Vessel still active, and down goes Timbersaw. That's DP dead, Timbersaw dead, and perhaps our good friend Roshan might be next to join them in the grave.
Yeah. Both Ricky and Pugna are surprisingly good at Roche. For how poorly at least Ricky hits buildings, he can actually take Roche very well. Because you can make Roche turn around, but you can't make towers turn around.
You see a stolen macro in the pip, but it won't really stop the inevitable. It is Aegis going to near on the Ricky. They'll have to back off immediately afterwards, but I'm sure they're fine with that one.
Yeah. I think the biggest winner so far has been this Lesh. They've been focusing so much on Jimmy in the past 10 minutes that Lesh has just farmed a full Kaya Sanj BKB.
Like he's ready to put it to use as well. BKB just finished and he's smoked up with his teammates. They're shadowing Jimmy. And if they recognize the way that we have, hey, they've been going on Timbersaw constantly, let's say, oh, we'll sit behind Timbersaw smoke, and when they go on him, we'll kill him.
A really nice smoke where you're going to show your Timbersaw. I mean, I would assume that the Radiant might be able to sniff this out, because there's no way Jimmy's actually that much of a psycho to just play on a
also sniffed out Breezy-R, who is well beyond the tier 2 tower, but they call him the Observer Ward. Breezy-R goes down on Pugna. Now Nier's arrived, but he's under a dire side sentry ward. He blinks in now for the Rubik. The Beast arrives looking for Sauce. Arena comes in on 2. Sauce's Dead Spear comes in on Ricky. Ricky is incredibly low, but will he die? Aegis popped. CK turning. CK dead in the head to Jakuro, who is 1/3 HP and dropping. Split Earth hits on Nier. He pops Manta, blinks away. Jakuro pops a smoke. Nier once again is running away in dire pursuit. Sentry is dropping. Nier is just too fast, or perhaps not. The spear, the blind spear on Ricky. It's perfect again. Nier goes down, and the huge play comes out from Andy Bendy. This is fantastic play from Big Trotters, and they will go immediately to the high grounds.
They get this frantic sentry place down that sees the tail end of the Ricky going this way, but I mean, he could have been anywhere in this area.
And here we go. It's beautiful. The Pugna Ward comes in.
Shard.
Does that save it? That saves the tower. All right then, never mind.
Oh, it's so strong.
I guess you forget how big 700 AoE is.
Yeah, well, it's because it like doubles the cast range on it. So it basically makes your life drain more than almost 1,000, because while life drain is 700, he also has the Aether Lens, which gives it plus 225. So you're actually at 925 cast range, which puts you at almost 2,000 cast range that you can use your life drain at. Closer to 1,800, 1,850 to be exact. But
it's a long range roll onto Mortal, Vessel, Kick, Reality Rift, Chaos Bolt, Missed Ice Path, result still the same, down goes the DP, but they want a bigger kill, they want Jimmy. The Vessel comes in, the roll is missed, and in comes Rena there on too. Jinx certainly will die soon, he dies to have Rebuke. In comes Tint with his BKB, fighting with the Beast. The lift comes in onto the CK, Nier blinks in further, Ice Path is missed thanks to the BKB, and now it's Nier trying the big dive. Dire are incredibly low, but they're under their tier 2 tower. Breezy-R and Nier, they're still hunting, they want to go, but they lack the Beast. And they're still in the area, they still want to be here, they just can't do anything.
It's actually crazy how strong this Pugna Shard is. I think this Leshrac needs a Blink Dagger. I think he just needs to blink onto the Pugna, because they currently have no way to save this Pugna. Your Pause 4 went Vessel and is now going to BKB. Your Pause 5 is going to Aether Lens. Like, they have no suns or forces or glimmers or anything to save Pugna.
The fighting is just non-stop this game. And we saw it even during your explanation.
Oh my lord.
Two little pick-off attempts happened there.
Oh god, it's so funny to watch. That 4 heroes just have to run from hitting another ward.
All the little buffs to Pugna, they have led to Ice Frog's current finest creation, perhaps.
Indeed.
Actually, that'd be Tiny. Tiny would be his finest creation, but Pugna is certainly.
This is his second finest creation. Yes,
certainly definitely. Very fair and balanced.
Yes, balance in all things, says Ice Frog. With regards to Pugna, Tiny, Omni Knight.
Actually, I have a question for you, Squid. Can you remember a single time where Omni Knight's been viable but not OP? Actually, hold that thought. Arena, Spear is missed bottom lane, Breeziar is turning, but this fight inevitably will be lost for the Pugna. Split Earth comes in, Life Drain is stolen, Pugna goes down.
I wonder if, let's say Rubik has the Ags and the Shard, or even just the Shard, and he puts down another word and then steals Life Drain, can he... I'd assume he'd be able to do it back, right?
I'm sure, right?
But he has an extra 575 cast range, so would that mean he'll be able to do it from 3,000 units away?
Now that is fair and balanced.
That is definitely fair and balanced.
Isn't it extra damage to extra spell amp on that? Yeah, it's 26% spell amp, so it'd be... oh my.
Yep, very, very fair and balanced.
Top lane roll comes in on Jimmy, Vessel, Chaos Bolt, Reality Riften. Yeah, it will be one dead Timbersaw. Will there be a trade, perhaps? Dire TP'd in, but they don't want to be here, as it appears. Except for Tint, who is forward with his BKB stunning Nier. Nier's incredibly low, but Nier is still alive. He'll tricks with a trade and blink away to Dokuro. Jinx meanwhile rolls away from the DP. Now it's DP dying to CK as roll comes in, but it's out to the BKB, Andy Bendy. Tint is low, he's Vessel, but still alive. The Beast blinks in for Andy Bendy. They go to Leshrac and the remainder of the team. Down goes Leshrac as the Beast finds the Mars! Jinx goes down, but Radiant are diving. They bring down Andy Bendy. They bring down Sauce. It is a full 5-man wipe, and how the game turns. Once again, they claim the top tier 2 tower, and now it's Radiant going high grounds.
You didn't see that coming.
They tanked exactly how they needed to. Ricky soaked so much damage and then was just barely able to get away. The Jakiro was not showing in the freeze right here while the Pugna was here sucking, so when the Ricky blinked away, they thought that he blinked to the Pugna, so they both ran to chase the Pugna, but the Ricky was actually safely away in the trees.
Just a brilliant play, and now Radiant, they say, you know what, you give us an inch, we will take maybe not a mile, but certainly a number of yards here. They've grabbed T3 tower, Tier 2 tower, range racks, and they want the melees. Jimmy and Immortal are on the defense, but Ricky is on the offense. The racks are low. Notorious hits them. They need one more hits, and it actually almost gets denied by Immortal. The result is the same. You want to save the gold, but his DP has that little damage, so it's still top racks entirely dead.
Yeah. They really need BKBs, especially on Kimmy, who just picks us up. And now he's actually able to play the game. Like, before he would just get slowed and silenced by Ricky. Like, he gets Boulder Smashed and Smoke Cloud on top of him, and he can pretty much take his hands off the keyboard. He's not doing anything for 4 seconds. With the Boulder Smash plus Smoke Cloud, he might as well be stunned. Because he's not doing shit. But now that he has his BKB, he can actually do things in fights, and I think this next fight, I think from the Dire's perspective, it kind of has to go well, or else this game's going to look real rough.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lineup like this, down money and down Elena Rax, is not ideal. They've headed into... Oh, the BKB is already forced out on the Ricky Illusion. So that all-important BKB they've been waiting for 29 minutes. It is already wasted, and they may still fight. The Radiant now know it's Timbersaw without BKB, and Nier is just invis and does not care about Dota 2 right now. He is completely fine. They see Leshrac, who's broken by creeps, but is still alive. And actually, Radiant are splitting.
They're not in a great position to take this fight.
Right, they know Breeziar is here. Nier's arrived with the help onto Rubik, but Rubik will go down, but will there be a trade is the question. They see Ricky, and they see Pugna. Dust comes in, it's purged immediately by the Manta, now in comes Roll, missing. BKB popped by Nier, Arena's in, but Radiants are still alive. They are completely fine. Now Dire are out of their BKBs entirely. Ice Path comes in, it's there on 2. Down goes DP, Roll is missed, but the Beast has arrived for Leshrac. Leshrac is dead, and now it's Timbersaw and Mars on the run. 2 brothers dying in each other's arms. Radiant have dove onto Timbersaw. Timbersaw will die. The Mars will blink away. But it is 4 for 0. And they want the 5th. Never mind, they won't get it. But they still want the 5th kill.
They want it, but they will not be rewarded with it. Really nice kiting from both Nier and Breezy, waiting for exactly the right moment to go. Nier just full on 100 of zeros. The Jakiro with just an Oov and a couple Blink Strikes. No Diffusal, no Scotty, no Basher. He just does so much damage with his level 20 backstab multiplier talent. Gives him the oomph. And I don't even know if he had it in that fight, honestly. It looks like he could have had it before the fight. Although...
Also, Blink Spear the Beast, but the Beast is playing Chaos Knight. Jinx rolls in on the Rubik. BKB popped. Chaos Bolt in. Applesauce down. They head to Andy Bendy, who is very dead as well, and he has no buyback. So it's a third kill perhaps on the DP. The Beast blinks in for more. He has no HP, but you know what? HP not needed. 3 kills for the Beast of US East. Now... buybacks are forced. Mortal buys back. Sauce buys back. Andy Bendy has returned as well. It's an arena there on 2. He wants the Pugna. Ice Path comes in, but Pugna still goes down. And now it's Ricky looking for vengeance, going for the Rubik. Jinx TP's away when his BKB is near. Will bring down the Rubik. He'll BKB, he'll TP, he'll get away. Dire have defended their bottom racks. But what a costly defense. 3 buybacks, and they get very little in exchange.
Poor Sauce, man. He died in this fight to just... died in the fight down here to just Ricky. Then dies up here almost immediately after respawning, and then buys back and gets 100 to 0 by Ricky again right here. Poor Sauce. And there's just really nothing he can do. He's buying a Force Staff to hopefully help both him and his teammates, but really the only item that's ever going to help him is Ghost Scepter. Which feels so bad to buy into Pugna or Spirit Jakiro. Because that item does absolutely nothing against those heroes. And they are maybe going to take Roshan with Breezy Dead. Definitely a good move if they can complete this with no casualties, but they're up reasonably soon on the Radiant heroes.
But they're not there. They're in their own jungle. We're TPing in now in the CK, but it's a bit too late. It's Aegis and Shard both going to tint on the Leshrac. So they say, you know what? Our Leshrac is strong. Let's make him a little bit stronger, and perhaps he can carry us to a team fight victory. Result to be determined still, but is the idea for sure. Nier is hunting. He wants Mortal on the DP. The bash comes in. Ice Path hits on 2. Macro on top. Down goes Mortal. They head to Jimmy. But he's lifted away by Sauce. But you know what? Nier doesn't care. The bash comes in. BKB popped. And in comes the Beast. Down goes Jimmy. Down goes Tint. He has 2 lives. But what can he possibly do to stay alive? In comes Andy Bendy. Spear, missed. Arena's there on 3. Leshrac is fighting. CK will BKB. Sauce goes down to Ricky once again. And in comes Jimmy back into the fight. Breezy R, dead. Notorious, dead. Nier, blinking away. But Jimmy is on top of the CK immediately. And now Jimmy is stunned again. Spear, missed. Silence is in, but Nier, can he fight even further? Jinx will save him. In comes Breezy R. The ward is dropped. Never Blast, Life Drain. Again, it's in. The fair and balanced life drain brings down Andy Bendy.
Oh, God.
It's a dieback on Mars, and they see Tint, Blink, Decrep, the blast. It's cancelled, but the result still the same. Brought down by Nier. Another kill, and it's Timbersaw again, trying to fight the lone defender. He's silenced, he's vesseled, and he's backstabbed to death. It's another full 5-man wipe, and this will be even more structural damage in the Dire base.
Might just be game. They definitely could go for the end, though can probably scrounge up the 3v5 with the Tint buyback plus 2 supports, but they're going to be facing 4, and then in a second all 5 of the Dire hero of the Radiant heroes. I sense there's going to be, some fair and balanced gameplay going on.
It's a blink stun from the Beast on Tint. He's just too stunned, and now he's just too dead. Dead for 2 minutes. They head for another kill. It's Mortal now dead. They haven't called it quite yet, but the result is known. And the Radiant know it too. They are blasting the tier 4s, and the GG is called.
Wow. So I definitely learned this game, that Pugna is a very, very fair and balanced hero. And in fact, I think he needs a buff next patch. I think that he's definitely not strong enough.
Thank you, Ice Frog. I appreciate your contributions.
I think if Jimmy...
Will you be buffing Tiny again with the patch or not? But what were you saying?
Yes. I think if Jimmy were to go back into that game, he might go back for just like a maybe Kai into BKB, or honestly just first hit in BKB. Like, that game seemed so impossible for him to play. His game was S tier, and then the Vessel came out, and he actually just had no game. Because he went from being able to very easily survive an Earth Spirit Riki going on him to not even close to surviving it. And like the Vessel coincided with, you know, the Earth Spirit having some levels, the Pugna getting Aether. Like, they kind of hit this really nice, like, few item timing where they had kind of one item on every hero. They had Armlet on CK, Aether on Pugna, or a Vessel on Earth Spirit, and they had Yasha and Damanta on Riki.
Problem is there, I mean, you got it just so early. I mean, minute 14,
yeah.
Vessel's online. You can see it there. He is 2-1-3 on Timbersaw, 6k net worth, but from there, immediately he dies, respawns, dies again. Like, it's all downhill from there.
Yeah, I want to take a look at just Jimmy. You can see it's not even that marked right at 15 minutes, right when the Vessel starts coming, but like definitely towards 20-ish minutes is when it starts to plateau a little bit. This Riki just had such a nice game. I think I'm kind of surprised that they didn't go for, you know, they went for a more damage counter. But I think that the issue was that both Timber and Lesh kind of want to do the same thing to a Riki. They kind of want their teammates to disable the Riki while they do a lot of damage to them. And so I think if one of those cores was something like an Underlord or something like a Bloodseeker, or, you know, one of the more, I don't know about traditional, but like more counters to Riki in the sense that it doesn't let the Riki be that elusive in fights, they might have been a little bit better off, because it seemed like the Riki just had to go on supports and they didn't really have a way to lock him down. He kills this Rubik first every fight, and their only stun on him is Spear or Split Earth, which are both omega unreliable.
You know, we see
yes.
Freezy R. He's a happy player right now. You know, he's a real. Oh dear God! Don't encourage this. Wait, did they mark the winning game? Please mark the winning game, Jimmy. Please.
I will bet that they did not.
He did. He did it. He marked the win correctly. Yes.
All right. I think we got to give the win to the Pig Trotters for marking the win correctly.
It's such a low bar, but you know what? This time it was crossed.
Yeah. I thought that with the support duo, they would be able to prioritize this Pugna, but they kept going on the Riki, which I think was definitely a mistake from them. The way I envisioned it was they get a blink on Leshrac, and every fight, Lesh and Mars just blink on the Pugna, and then how do they save him? But to Breezy's credit, he did a really good job of being patient in the fights and only showing with his very fair and balanced ability, which gave him a lot of breathing room, because it cancels blinks. So if you're not starting the fight blinking on the Pugna, you can have a little bit of an issue ever using those blinks. It's like a Plague Ward on steroid.
You know, what I'm excited for is I'm hoping that the Beast plays some real. I mean, I know he played CK, but I want an even more up-tempo hero. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like some I don't know, Mars, Tiny's banned.
The Tiny's banned. Unfortunately, that's the problem with Tiny being the best hero in Dota, is he's just banned all the time. And we see in the pro games, sometimes Tiny doesn't get banned. You see some non-carry Tiny. You saw in BTS Pro Series 10, Dark Nagel playing the mid Tiny, Forzoomer's very own Moo playing the offlane Tiny, but in Lads it is banned, 24/7, for good reasons, banned.
And a little bit surprised, I'm now realizing the they also did first phase ban Underlord last game on the side of Feast of UST, so that makes the Ricky pick a little bit better. They don't have that like really strong count, because I didn't remember it second phase. But anyway, Omni Knight completely ignored last game, not picked or banned, which is absolutely shocking to me. And they return it with, I honestly think Techies is just as fair and balanced as Omni Knight and Pugna. I mean, this Techies hero, I've seen a lot of both Thompson and some Pos4s play it, and it does like, you have an E-Blade and level 12 and your starter, and you do something like 2,500 damage. Like, it is insane. And there it is. They ban the fair and balanced Pugna.
Not too shocking, but what is actually somewhat shocking is the Feast of US East have also banned out the Ricky, so clearly they also value the hero highly enough to ensure that the other team doesn't get it.
Jimmy is a big Ricky player.
I did not know that, but you know what I do know? I'm going to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Yep. Hero and Rubik are now swapped this game. Last game it was the Hero that was able to prevail, because I actually don't think Rubik got Ice Path. I think he may have got it once, maybe twice, but they did a really nice job of prioritizing the Rubik, realizing he's the only hero with the stun that's even close to reliable. So taking him out of the fights first, and the fights are super easy.
10 seconds remaining.
This game, though, it's not going to be that easy, where you have a choice between taking out the Rubik or the Omni Knight. But Omni is a pretty big deal. It's interesting that they banned the Dusa and the Huskar, just like last game. Dusa definitely seems like a pig Trotters hero, but I go for the Tidehunter, so how will Feast of USCs be able to punish this offlane hero? Typical counters are Monkey King, which Nier's a big fan of, Ursa, which Nier doesn't play as much, but I'm sure he could make work. I mean, I think Monkey King looks really appetizing right now. Maybe Slark. Slark Omni is also really good. You've got a pretty free game so far. What other carries is there? You could probably swing a Lifestealer. Could probably.
I'm back.
Oh, welcome back. I'm thinking that Nier probably picks Monkey King or Slark here. Seems like a really good game for them. Maybe he could go Faceless Void, but feels like the obvious pick is probably Slark. Is the most obvious, but I think Monkey King might be a little bit more comfort. They go for the Breezy Void Spirit, so taking the mid.
I think they'll grab both mid and carry here. I think they're going to save the offlane pick for now, because they're not going to reveal anything with this before their picks are done. I don't see why you wouldn't grab carry when you know it's going to be probably a tied Techies lane. Or maybe tied here, but probably tied Techies.
Yeah, you see your lane. You probably should take your carry here.
And you have Omni Knight too, which is bad. It's one of those heroes that can like turn a lane that's pretty bad into a slightly better lane, so you might as well just like pick a hero and. So you go for the more classic Omni Knight pairing. Not as good in laning as Tide, but pairing with the Omni in the mid and late game. This Ben is fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's more of a like I think with Slark, you kind of are way more reliant on like your lane and your mid game going really well. And if for whatever reason it doesn't, you can be pretty screwed on both Slark and Monkey. But with Sven, you can have a shit lane and a shit mid game, and you just farm, and then you just have 2 more items than the enemy carry, and you just win the game. Especially with an Omninet behind you, you don't even need to be that far ahead. So it's definitely safer, but so I think this is also smart drafting from Radiant. You see the mid lane matchup. Don't want to reveal your carry and give them a good pick.
Yeah, it makes sense. And now it's all right. Our mid laner. I mean, it's not like Ember Spirit necessarily counters Void Spirit, but they have this. They're using the 24 pick wisely, as you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Not in those words, but that's definitely the sentiment you had.
Yeah, the Void Ember matchup is always weird because I think more often than not, Ember wins it. If either side wins, I think it's usually Ember, but it's a weird lane in my experience where like 60% of the time, yeah, 60% sounds right. 60% of the time is a farm trade. 25% of the time, the Ember gets a decent amount ahead of the Void Spirit, but then 15% of the time, the Void Spirit absolutely crushes the Ember. So like it doesn't happen as often, but when Void Spirit wins the lane, he makes the Ember Spirit cry. Because when the Ember gets his Yules, the Void Spirit has, or when the Ember gets his Maelstrom, the Void Spirit has Yules or Orchid or Ags or like some way to catch him, and like the Ember just always stays right up behind. But if you're not at that point and you go even on lanes, I think that the Ember can do pretty well.
And we are on that last pick now. Both teams have plenty of reserve time. 1 minute left on Dire, 1 minute left on Radiant, so there's time to think. Grab some the beast of US East hero.
What hero do they need? They have a way to start fight with Void Spirit, but you'd like I think something like Doom, where you can actually start onto the Tide. Because right now they don't have a way to start on Tide and not let them get off Ravage. Unless you're banking on Silver Edge then. So something like Night Stalker or Doom would probably be my preferred picks.
And they both make sense. They're not necessarily like heroes that the Beast and Jill it really plays that much, but I'm sure he can do Night Stalker just fine. The problem is, I feel like if they go Night Stalker, there's definitely some good counter picks in store.
Maybe. I don't know. It seems like a really good Night Stalker game. Both Tide and Ember are super threatening. And they actually don't have a lot to catch here. I mean, Slight Chains is really all you care about right now.
You know, you're right. Actually, I agree now. I recant my previous statement. They'll grab the Magnus instead, though. It is not Night Stalker. It is not Doombringer. It is Blink Stunner Magnus.
Huh. It's not as threatening. I guess they're probably going to buy their Blinker Silver Edge on Sun, and Sun's just going to run in with Heavenly Grace ready to put him or on him, RP to counter initiate, Void Spirit to pick off supports. I like it.
It's definitely easier said than done, but this is one good team, and if they, I'm sure it can make it work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it does leave a little bit of counterplay. Like, I think if they had something like a Night Stalker, the counterplay of just having the Tide sit in front and sort of daring them, hey, go on our Tide, I dare you. And then they just doom him or crippling fear him, and they're like, yeah, we just went on him, what are you going to do now? But I guess the threat of just pulling him so far out of position that even a Tide Hunter can't survive could also be a valid plan, but definitely offers more counterplay. What last pick do I like here? I like Calling PA would have been nice. It's a good band from them. I don't know, something like TV. You could even bring out Jimmy's Morph. Pretty good Morph game. Blade Spirit's really your only threat.
And they grab the Faceless Void and say, you know what? We have some good team fight combination. Let's get some more team fight for our team fight combination. It's Void, Tai, Jakiro in the mix. That has a lot of AoE control right there, and it should be a fairly good game for Andy Bendy on the Ember Spirit as well. So I think I like the Radiant draft. What are your thoughts on these two drafts?
I don't know. I think Dyer played a lot better in game one, so I'd be willing to give them the edge. I think like game one, their drafts are pretty even. Both have the potential. I think if one side executes like at 80% capacity and the other one executes at 75, the one that executed at 80% capacity is going to win, no matter like which draft it is. So I think these drafts to me seem like who's ever playing better is going to win. And since Dyer played better game one, I think I'd give them the edge. I think that the Faceless Void versus Sven matchup is very, very team dependent. Because while you do have the threat of just 100-0ing Sven and Chrono, Sven also has the threat of 100-0ing you in a Stormhammer plus follow-up stun. You have a Tide to counter-initiate while they have a Guardian Angel to counter-initiate on your Chrono. Like there's a lot of ways that that I could see both teams winning fights, where they start off with a slight chains onto a support, force out the purge, and then they're able to commit on someone who's not purged by the end. Or they start with a Ravage on all 5, and they get a crazy team fight. Or they steal Ravage, steal Ice Pad. Like it's, there are a lot of ways where you have Ravage, Chrono, Guardian Angel, Spell Steal, and RP. It's very hard to predict how team fights will go. So I'm just going to put my money on who's ever playing better, and I think that after seeing game one, I would be more likely to say that.
Alright then, if you are just joining us, welcome to game number 2 of Pig Trotters taking on the Feast of US East. The Feast of US East are the number 1 seeded team currently in Group A, and they won game 1 in back and forth fashion. Pig Trotters, they are hoping to punch their ticket to the upper bracket, and to do so, they're going to want to win this game too. My name is Badger. I'm joined again by the one and only ColonelSquid, and hopefully we are in for a good game too.
Let's see. I think the one thing that I do see, just as like team fights and mid-game fights could go anyway, but I really see the lanes going Radiant this way. I think Sven Omni is not stronger than Techie's Tide, although I say that they are trading very well on the Omni Sven. But
and they're trading very early on into this Tide. He was using a 2-man anchor smash. In comes a Stormbolt. Notorious, I don't think they can get a kill here, but it's fair fires. Pop man fighting continues. Near low, tint low. Who dies first? It is Near, dying to that sticky bomb coming out from Sauce.
You cannot disjoint or dispel that sticky bomb, unfortunately. Very, very fair and balanced.
Is that the theme of the cast tonight?
Yes.
Is me and you getting mad at things that are not very balanced, and therefore in a bitter fashion calling things fair and balanced.
Yes, tonight is the showcasing of all the new broken things in the new patch. And I mean, look at this Techies. I mean, like Techies, I remember when he used to have like 30 damage. Like 30 flat damage, and now he's got 47 damage and a Blightstone. Like his clicks actually hurt. Like they actually aren't. They're more than just annoying.
He's doing 47 with literally no damage too. It's not like he has like 2 branches in the mantle. No, he's literally got Blightstone.
How much damage is he doing to this Sven? I'm trying to see. Sven with naturally 7 armor on their top. So we're just getting. I mean, Sven is already out of tangos. He died and is already out of tangos. Has to get fed one by Notorious. Like this lane does not seem fun to play. His CS is doing very well. Like he is CSing very well because he has 75 damage plus quelling, but not having fun in the regen department.
This is one of those lanes where we mentioned it game 1. It's like, all right, my lord, I must buy you more salves on Omni Knights. I must send over the assistance. And he's just dying, actually. Blast off, Sticky Bomb come in, but Sven is still alive. Tint runs forward, has Gush, but it is on cooldown. I think that was a salve pop, though, by...
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so that's a salve down. Sticky Bomb?
Oh, that was close. Sven just saw his eyes flash before, like, his life flash before his eyes. I don't think he would have died because he was at 85 HP and it only does 90 magic damage, but oh, this is definitely death.
Never mind. Skewer missed bot lane. Back to top lane again. Nier is in. Heal comes out from Omni Knight, and now it's constant brawling in both of these side lanes. Somehow, nobody's died yet post that first blood, and Nier remains alive. He's just tanking so much damage. Notorious wants this kill on Sauce. He has the heal available. Salves popped by Techies. Over to bot lane, meanwhile, the Skewer came in, hitting on Jakiro. Down goes Jakiro under the tower. It's non-stop action in both of these side lanes. We've been looking mostly at the top lane, but as all that's been happening, bottom lane has been probably as exciting as well with this Faceless Void Jakiro taking on a Magnus and Rubik lane.
Yeah. I think the one thing, it does seem to be that the mid lane is going like the 60% of Ember Void's lanes, where it's just a straight up upgrade.
Blast off in, Nier low, but he's still alive! Sticky Bomb comes in and it will hit on Nier. He will go down. Notorious is very low as well. It's just...
Yeah.
Man, this thing is good.
This Techies hero? Yeah. I was saying that Techies is on par with Omni and Pugna in terms of balance. Oh my lord, he has to heal
the Sticky
himself.
Bomb! Oh, he's still alive, but...
You can't purge it.
He's running after him. He has less move speed.
He's not gonna die.
But he still wants it. He still wants... He's not gonna get it, but he still wants it. He's hunting.
The Sticky Bomb was a little faster. Oh, he's gonna blast off, but he doesn't have the mana to Sticky Bomb afterwards. If he did, he would have killed him. I mean, this is not fun to be a Sven. He's clicking the Tide back. Tide actually doesn't have any regen. He has enough for his Ring of Health, but has not bought it. And Nier, he just came back to lane. He bought his own salve, and he already has.
It's being canceled! Oh no!
Oh
it's
no!
Being canceled.
The salve nerf. Another Sticky Bomb. Dude, the cooldown on this is also like it's 6-second cooldown at max. Why? Why is it so low?
It is 10 currently, but 10 is not that long. I mean,
no.
If we're looking at, say, I don't know, Jakiro, right? Jakiro's got a spell which you consider very spammable. That's 10 seconds, so it's on par with Dual Breath at level 2. Yes. It's low cooldown.
Here, just salved up, already half HP. And he was top of the CS about 4 minutes ago, and now he is bottom of the cores.
See, you know,
mid lane.
Mid lane, yeah, it's a dive by Breezy R. Andy Bandy remains alive, and yeah, we'll be 9 hit away going down. Though Mortal comes in, spells. Never mind, he had no mana for the Dual Breath, did not pop the mango in time, and as a result, Void Spirit gets away.
This is the one part of the matchup that feels nice. Is Ember can always take a quick trip to the base and get right back in, while Void Spirit. Oh, this is if you look at Ember's bottle, this is what I had to get used to. Yeah, it always used to be habit to just spam it after jumping back from base top lane.
Yeah, it's once again Sven being blasted off upon, but he's still alive barely. Stormbolt comes in, Tide is low. Sven goes down though to Sauce, who has 56 damage. As that happens, we saw Jakiro in the 1v3 going down. We're back to the top lane again, though. It's Notorious going down to Tide's right click. So across the map, a 2-for-1. But it was really a 2-for-0 and a 1-for-0 simultaneously. They decided to go into Jakiro in the river area, but...
It feels so bad on Ember when you rotate top with no boots, and your team gets a double kill before you're even in the next XP range. You're like, thanks, guys. Glad I rotated to help you.
This is a situation now where it's still not ideal for Sven. What kind of stacks do they have right now? So they've got some double stacks going on, but not that much. And they're just going on the Sven during all of that. It's just... It's not a fun
nice
day.
purge. It's not enough. Not even close to enough. And just another sticky bomb for the road. Ice path, dual breath. How you doing? Well, how you doing?
Is bad,
Breezy.
but in comes Breezy to change the fortune. Step on in, looking for Mortal. It's the second step now, committed. Jakiro is dead. Breezy has no steps of Radiance. Cannot punish a Void Spirit quite yet. They'll bring in the Ember Spirit to try to do so, but Dire are aware he's there, under their Observer Ward. Radiance, hunt for the Sven. They want near. Chains are not skilled. Remnants are up. They're in under the tower, looking for the Sven and for Jinx. Jinx will go down. Remnant committed. Down goes the near Sven, and now it is Sauce going down to the third step of the fight from Breezy R, but Ember still wants to go.
I don't know if they know, but Void Spirit has no mana and no TP. He is very useless, but they also don't have any way to stop him. They could have maybe Ravaged, but probably not worth it. And this board, I'm surprised it's still alive.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised it is too. I mean,
it has spent a full minute under a sentry.
I'm pretty sure Dire put another ward like right there and got deboarded immediately. So it's, I guess it's a value sentry there.
Yeah, getting 2 obs and another sentry boot. And Sven now jungling. You'd love to be a little bit higher level than this, at least having the 100% cleave, but oh my gosh, and that is 3 obs that have been dewarded in the last minute. If you look at Dire's vision, it is dark. They have not a single ward on the map. And now his stack is getting stolen.
He got 2 of the big creeps, but
yeah.
At all the small creeps lost to Ember and 1 of the big creeps. That is not ideal, and now it's the Beast on the rotation. But they see near under their own obs ward. Andy Bendy has the Arcane Rune, wants to go on down, get some more kills. Chains come in, it's there on both. Stormbolt the response. In comes Sticky Bomb, hitting on the Omni-Knights. And Omni-Knight will go down south over the top lane. They're diving. Meanwhile, it's a 2v2 fight. Steps come in from Breezy R, who kills Mortal with the Assimilate. So across the map, another 1-for-1, 1 support for 1 support trade, and it's been a lot of the story of the game. Is a lot of these heroes going down in it's equal trades in a macro sense, but it's been like 1-for-0s across the map. Real.
Yeah, I think a nice little winner here is okay.
Well, it's not going to be Magnus, who's in the Chronosphere. Yeah,
I don't think that Chrono was. It wasn't needed, but if they didn't want to let him get Skewer off and maybe rotations come in.
Yeah, rotations with RP and Skewer is very dangerous there.
Yes. They don't see what we see, which is 0 TPs. But I definitely think that is a Chrono that
ooh, the damage
we like to do early.
The damage from Andy Bendy and Sauce, it's high.
Ember with Max Slight, a Orb of Corrosion, and the Blades of Attack. Yeah.
And they want near again, too. Slight Chains are in range.
Oh my
they are going
lord.
to be hits. And yeah, it'll be 1 more dead Sven. That is his 5th death of the game.
Ember. Yeah, this is I said that in mid-game team fights, the teams would be about equal. Oh, I'm lagging a little bit.
Now the Taurus is dead too. Another kill for Andy Bendy, and man, this game is looking real good for Pig Trotters. They saw game 1. They saw how it was in. It was in a good game. It was a winnable game 1, but they lost their lead. This time they're building a much more stable and a much more strong lead. It's going to be a lot harder to throw this time.
Yeah. This is definitely what Nier needs to take this stack. But, I mean, you would, as Sven, preferably be at least even, if not ahead of the Faceless Void, who has no farming item yet. But once that Void gets his Maelstrom, he'll be able to somewhat keep up in farming speed with the Sven. They also don't really threaten this Void, this Faceless Void hero right now. Like, he really can only die with, like, Stormhammer into RP, into Telekinesis, with Void Spirit damage. Like...
Well, Blastoff comes in during all of that on Rubik, and yep, it is another death for the Dire side, and this Techie's Ember combination, it strikes again.
That is when you know you're feeling rough, when you take a triple Ancient stack on Sven and you're almost still the lowest net worth Thor. And right now you actually are.
Not fun.
Oof.
Well, mid lane, the fighting continues. It's Ember going on Void Spirit as Mag hunts for an RP and Skewer play, it appears. Ember will Remnant away, and now Radiant are backing up. Bit of a disjointed fight, but neither team committed in too heavily there, so no one dies.
This Mag just walks into 2 mines, and is just half HP. And it's like, well, guess I'm not blinking in today. They're smoked. Looking for this Faceless. So I said the Faceless had to die from like 5 heroes. Well, maybe they will get it. Although they scanned. Oh no,
scan.
Jimmy knew exactly what was coming to him.
And he's juking away from where they're ganking. He goes to the right dire scan too, but Jimmy is just one step ahead right now. It's just... he's ready to go. And he's even there. Yes, ColonelSquid. Radiant can TP in here if they want to. They'll see the Courier. They know Void's nearby somewhere, but they don't quite know where. Courier will die. That is the mouse from the Courier. But now Tide is TP'd in. He has the Ravage. Chrono is up. Breeziar is in very, very deep. He'll TP away just in time, it appears. But instead, they'll go on to Omni Knights. Actually, the TP... no, it's not cancel in time. Back to Omni Knights. Void has bashes. He's not getting them. But the chains certainly will work.
Alright, chains will work.
It is 1 kill. They got the Omni Knight, so Dire, they not only miss on their 5-man smoke gank, they lose their 5 support, and Radiant continue.
Oh no. He definitely can solo kill Nier on Jimmy with Chrono and Mask of Madness up.
Mid lane, Sauce is in meanwhile. He silences Rubik. In comes an RP onto the Techies. Techies certainly will drop.
So it's the damage he did, though.
It's a lot, I agree.
The one good thing that they did get was the Void Spirit did snipe Jimmy's Courier with the ward that they had, which Mortal already dewarded it. And it looks like he might get this one too, as he's putting his sentries into his inventory. Although he runs away. Oh. Will he go for it? He does not. So, and this ward is actually under a sentry and an op, so this will be dewarded promptly. But, yeah, them getting the Maelstrom of Jimmy means he actually doesn't have that farming speed that he normally would like to have. How great of a start he had for 2 minutes later. He is still, like, very far ahead of the Sven, but, I mean, the Sven is 0-5, and you're 1-0. You'd like to be more than just a little bit less than 1k up. And it's in part due to the fact that they killed his Maelstrom.
We're at the point now where both teams are in the hunt. They have spells they want to use for sure. I mean, RP's up in 46. Other than that, everything is up. So really, both teams want a fight on their terms. Chains come in on Andy Bendy, but he is a little bit unkillable right now. He'll lose the regen rune to Breeziar. Now Breeziar will dodge everything except for Chains. But Chains might be enough. He's just dead on Void Spirit immediately.
He used both jumps to go for that rune. and so he has nothing left to get out of dodge, and that is an optimistic TP if I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, he'll join his teammate in the grave on that one. It's now 15 kills for Pig Trotters. He is really here right now to have no mercy on this Ember Spirit. I mean, he's only third in net worth on his course, but he's 4-0-6. He's been involved in 2/3 of his team's kills, and it's clearly showing Dire playing so scared right now.
That's why I love this Ember Spirit hero, man. You just get a slight chance onto someone, and sometimes if you have the right follow-up, they just die. Oh no.
Breeziar is in. He has found Jakiro. Sven gets caught again. Now back to Sven. Chronosphere was used on Sven. He'll run away with Warcry. Lift comes in, but Techies also is in. Sven, low. Down goes Near. It's a trade for the Jakiro, but I'm sure Radiant are very fine with that. Now Dire will rendezvous after their Jakiro kill, looking for more, but the Rubik is already dead. Now Ravage comes in, hitting only on one, but it is a big core Magnus. That is 3 heroes dead. On the Dire side, everybody is mostly done with fighting, except for the Omni Knight and the Techies, who are in a 1v1 under the Dire side tier 2 tower. Sauce will go down to that hammer of purity coming out there. But despite that, it is still a team fight win for the side of Pig Trotters.
Most faded 1v1 ever, Omni versus Techies. You'll love to see it. And to answer your question from many minutes ago, I don't think there has ever been a time where Omni has been viable and not broken. And
that was last game. That was literally
no,
last
it wasn't.
game.
No, it wasn't. It was this game. There was no Omni last game.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Over to Voice Beard. He's just dead.
Mm-hmm.
He stepped in. I mean, we saw. Okay, a minute ago, Void Spirit steps in twice for the rune at the top rune for the minute 16 rune and dies. We saw Jakiro dying. 2 minutes later, Void Spirit is back. And he does the exact same play for the minute 18 rune at the top rune. It dies again in the exact same fashion.
And level 4 level 4 chains is still just as strong. And now it has just been upgraded by 1 second. So it wasn't deadly enough before. It's now 1 second more deadly. And he's learned. He has learned. Andy Bendy did not mess up with his bottle again.
He's adapted.
I feel like that's really dangerously close to being used, the Shrine Vision. Bottom lane, this Tidehunter is got a lot of Dire heroes looking at him, but unfortunately, they can't do shit to him. They actually do not threaten him in the slightest. He's like, yeah, what are you gonna do?
You mentioned the Silver Edge on Sven. It's really the only option to deal with this this Tide, and Near. Well, his net worth is about 1 Silver Edge right now, so that's clearly not going to happen yet.
Yeah, that is a Silver Edge is a pipe dream right now. He is hoping for a BKB and then maybe a Daedalus so that he can actually do damage. I mean, he's gonna do a lot of damage with BKB plus Empower. It is definitely nice to help him recover from such a terrible laning phase that he has this Empower, but
you'd hope for more farm out of an Empowered Sven, though. You know, it's literally a man who is cleaving for. Actually, we'll go to the top lane. Breeziar has stepped into Jakiro. Jakiro is going to perhaps die, but he's out of everything, and he's been dilated by Jimmy. Are there stuns? Yes, there is. Steering chance cancels the TP. Down goes Breeziar. So that's a bit of an ambitious play there from Breeziar. He saw the kill, but he didn't ask if he should do. He asked if he could do. He got the kill, but died for it. Top lane, Near is looking to fight, but it's a remnant away. Bandy RP comes in, it's there on 2. Stormbolt comes in. 1 big kill, 2 big kills. Huge RP there from the Beast of US East, and now it's still good for Pig Trotters, but that is certainly one good fight in the right direction.
That is definitely what they needed, especially if they can turn this into. Oh my god, Jinx almost just died to mines while smoked. I didn't even know they could hit you while you were smoked.
They removed one of the mines, but apparently not enough for Jinx not to die there. Over to top lane, Near is looking to solo kill Andy Bendy, but the arrival of Breeziar, they should get that kill there. Yep, that is Ember Spirit dead. for the first time this game, and a lot of money going over to Breezy R and the Void Spirit. That is, once again,
Yes.
if the comeback is going to happen for the Feast of the US East, that is certainly how you do it. You win the team fight with your spells and get that big pick-off afterwards.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that this Tide has just not been present in these fights. He's got a full Aghanims now. I didn't even register that he had Blink, and now he's got a full Aghanims.
Mid lane, the fight continues. Chrono comes in on 5 heroes, 3 of Dire, 2 of Radiant, but is stolen by Jinx, and now Notorious and the Beast will both go down. Radiant pursue for Breezy R, who has no steps, though does have Yules and Assimilate. He won't use them, though. He is just TPing away just in time. So it is a 2 for Chronosphere exchange. Radiant certainly happy with that one, and they'll attempt to get more. It is Jimmy in the mid lane, but he's lacking the creeps and teammates right now.
So unfortunate. He just missed the Void Spirit. I thought the Void Spirit was in the Chrono. I'm sure Jimmy did too. But it was just right on the edge of Void Spirit. You know what they always say, Badger?
You say it.
It is a game. A game of centimeters.
No! You came so close. Don't do that to me ever again. Oh, God.
But so close yet so far. And they're smoked up on the Dire. They say they got no Chrono. They do have Ravage, but they have RP, they have God's Strength, they have GA.
And they see a Tide and Techies. Mir leads the way. Breezy R joins him. Techies the target, but Stolen Chrono comes in on Tide, so it's dead Techies. And they know where the Tide is, but Tide is very, very tanky. Ravage comes in, it'll be on all 5, but it's stolen as well! Breezy R, low, Ravage, return, but it's only there on Tide. RP comes in, Void on the inside, but Dire are dying. Breezy R dead, Notorious dead, Tint still alive, the Beast dead, Tint at long last drops, but Radiant have too many heroes. They'll bring down Jinx and Ausneer in a 1v1 with Void, but Void has teammates arriving. Andy Bendy arrives, Ice Path misses, but it will be an ultra kill for Andy Bendy. And despite being down, the Chronosphere, it was not needed. It was a 5-for-2 exchange. And what a teamfight win for Pig Trotters. Yeah. You play into Stolen Chrono, Stolen Ravage, and RP, and you still win the fights.
Yeah, I think the issue was they ran into Tide. And it's great that you can kill Techies, but they used their Stolen Chrono and their Stolen Ravage only on a Tide. And you didn't even have Sven hitting him for it, because he was right in the middle of the Chrono, so your Void Spirit and Sven can't exactly hit him. And then he just gets Ravage purged off of him immediately. The RP's on an Ember, but nobody but the Magnus is hitting the Ember. Or I think it was on a Faceless Void, actually, my bad. But, and then Andy Bendy is able to get off, like, 6 double damage Sleight of Fists onto, like, 3 heroes. So it is no surprise to me that Radiant clean up that fight with a 4-man Ravage and 5 good Sleight of Fists. And I like the idea from Jimmy this game with the Aghanims, because the way
is just dead, I think. Yep, he's just dead. He'll try to get it to Assimilate, but he has he's 1 Astral Step and no TP, so yeah, it's just a bit over-aggressive on the farming from Breezy R. He knew Tide was there, he knew there was a tower to TP too, and he just went in anyways and died.
See, I like the Aghanims on Faceless Void, because the way that you beat the Sven is you just bash him. I mean, that's really it. Sven can't man-fight you because he gets perma-bashed from BKB. And there's no item he can buy other than, like, Basher to win man-fights against you.
I would actually love to see that. One way to do it is get that guaranteed Aghanim's bash immediately.
Yeah. And it also lets him, like, go on supports. Like we saw last game, the Ricky was able to just go on the Rubik because he goes in with the silence. You could have a similar idea this game where you queue onto the Rubik as the other team and hope you get a bash to follow the Agh's bash.
Well, it is first Roshan of the game, third Roshan of the series. It goes to Pig Trotters. He just goes to Andy Bendy on the Ember. And now it's the skewer on Mortal. Mortal most certainly will go. He's still alive. They kept him alive, and now they'll turn him to Omni Knights. Omni Knights. Perhaps they left to die, but will there be vengeance? Stormbolt comes in on Faceless Void. Lift there as well, but it's a Ravage and a ColonelSquid both committed. Jakiro now dead, but it's a Void Spirit dead. Rubik dead. Sven getting bashed. RP comes in. It's there on 3. Techies dead. Stormbolt is in, but no, the damage from Ember is just too much. Breezy R is bought back, but Nier is just so incredibly low. Time Lock comes in, Remnant committed, and the Anchor Smash brings down Nier. The blind Anchor Smash from Tint gives him a triple kill on Tidehunter, and that is another colossal teamfight win for the side of Pig Trotters. Breezy R bought back, but he will find nothing but corpses around him of his allies.
The Faceless Void jumped out just in time to dodge the RP, and so he got it onto 3, yes, it was really nice, but the Tide immediately purged it off. The Techies died, but, I mean, you're killing a Techies for RP. It doesn't feel that good. I think they would have loved to have gotten the Faceless Void on top of it. No cigar, and the plate mail from Ember really saving him. I mean, I think if Ember doesn't have that plate mail, he might get shredded in the RP from Sven, but he's got 30 armor. He's got, like, a lot of survivability. And a Kaya-san, so the RP doesn't last that long. Like, this is really nice itemization to survive an RP.
We are at the point now where it's going to require very fantastic team fighting from the side of the Feast of US East to win this game. It's not impossible, but it's very hard. I mean, they still really lack the tools to beat Radiant in these team fights. I mean, Silver Edge, still not finished, and this Tide is just so strong. And they're just diving for Sven right now. They're just diving.
That was the issue I saw with their draft, is that they don't really have any way to threaten this Tide. So if he just stands in front, what do they do? And
well, Andy Bendy's fighting the 1v3. They catch him with the Yules and the Remnant. Can they kill him? Skewer, missed. Stormbolt comes in onto, I'm not quite sure what exactly, but now it's Void and Ember fighting with Omni and Magnus. Nier will arrive from the left side of the fight through the Tri-Camp. The Beast will go down as we're seeing a bash come in on Breezy R. Nier will BKB looking to fight. The Aegis is popped, and now Nier will attempt the kill. The ColonelSquid, it's perfect on 2. Span and Rubik both on the side of the ColonelSquid. Jinx will go down. Nier gets bashed. Nier gets brought down, and now Radiant want more kills. They want the Mag, who brings down Techies with Shockwave, but they know he's there. He'll skewer away in time, but hey, Pig Trotters, they are out of control right now. They are unstoppable, it appears.
they need a miracle from the Magnus. Get him in the fountain. Unfortunately, it's pretty hard to get the 1 and 2 at least in the fountain for an extended period of time. Maybe they get the Tide in the fountain? And that's their win condition?
I mean, they're not that far from the fountain, I suppose, but they have decided wisely to focus on the barracks. They want the melees. Actually, Jimmy actually got a little bit close.
Okay, let's calm down a little bit.
That'd be how you do it. Time walk in, lift, skewer, RP in the fountain. That'd be the way to do it, but instead he will reverse time walk. Instead, time walking in the bash, Notorious in, comes Andy Bendy, RP, pump fake, dodge, and it's not really dodged! Oh no! Notorious goes down, and Andy Bendy just broke the ankles of the Beast of US East, and it's mid-racks dead, top racks under duress, and I mean, they might try to defend on. The Sven and the Void Spirit have returned, but they'll almost lose their Rubik during all that. It's just massive damage, and
I think you gotta take a fight here with no chrono. I don't think the fight gets any better. I mean, you don't have RP, but your Sven can't survive a chrono. Oh no, the flame thing canceling the mag blink. Just use both jumps on Breezy.
This Void Shard is hilarious.
Yeah. honestly, an unspoken, like, something I haven't talked about this game is how annoying it is for the Dire heroes, this time dilation. I mean, all of them, every single one of them has a low cooldown spell that they'd like to use 3 or 4 times in a fight. Every single one of them.
And Faceless Void says no. Instead, he's a Chrono Sphere. They're on two once again. Omni and Void Spirit on the inside. Omni low. Omni, he's dead. Now Breezy R will dissimulate away, but the base is once again under attack. It is a 5v5 fight. But Jinx gets nearly one-shot by Jimmy on the Faceless
Gush
Void.
armor reduction plus the bash time lock damage.
Here we go. Stormbolt in. God Strength is popped. But Dire, they're being kited around again. Ravage comes in on 3. Say goodnight. We'll be getting a 1-1, it appears, and the GG is called.
Yeah. Stolen Ravage, but for what? For... Okay. Sven didn't even get off DKB in that last engagement. Just got clipped by an ice path, and the techies... The techies blast off into Ravage. I mean, I don't know if this is proven to you, but this has confirmed my belief that techies is also very fair and balanced.
I mean, I agree in principle, and now I also agree with evidence, so you know what? I'm with you on this one, Squid.
I also think Andy Benny played a lights-out game on the Ember Spirit. I mean, this was a very, very well-played Ember Spirit game.
17-1 and 17 is one hell of a stat line. You really... It's hard to beat that. It's hard to have less stats than 1. It's hard to have more kills and assists than 34 in a game this short. It's about as good as you can realistically play in an Ember Spirit.
I mean, all the cores from Radiant really showed up this game.
Yeah, they all had 1 death. 1 death on Ember, 1 death on Void, 1 death on Tide, and I'm sure it's much more... It's not necessarily predictive, but it's certainly demonstrative of a very strong win in that sense. So it's a great showing from Victor. They showed after game 1, you know what? They can take this 1-1 draw against the number 1 seeded team in their own group, and if you're in playoffs, you do not want to necessarily play this big Trotters team. This is a dangerous team.
Yeah. I think this mag pick didn't really make sense to me. Because, I don't know. It just doesn't address the Tide. Like, neither of the cores really address Tide. I mean, sure, you have Steel for Ravage, but this Tide is just able to sit basically wherever he wants, and you just can't touch him. I really wish they would have picked something a little bit stronger against him. Unfortunately, their son just didn't have a game. The techies Tide it's such a stupid lane. It's so dumb. The amount of damage.
I mean, yeah, it's a lot. I mean, Gush plus Blightstone is an immense quantity of minus armor. I mean, level 1 Gush is what, minus 4 armor?
Yeah, it is -4.
So that's actually, it's only -3 now. They nerfed it, I think, but I think it used to be 4, I think, but now it's
definitely
still
used to be 4.
It's -6 armor, which is that's a lot of minus armor right there.
Yep, that'll leave you running home with your tail between your legs for sure.
So for Nears, he wasn't even necessarily granted that liberty. He didn't get the walk tail between legs. He got the express trip to the base there. It's just
I don't know. Like, he even got Warcry at level 2 to give him +6 armor, but it's just Warcry at level 1 has a 32-second cooldown. Gush level 1 has 12 seconds. The Sticky Bomb level 1 also 12 seconds. So they can just combo Sticky Bomb and Gush together. And it just it was honestly filthy to watch that top lane.
I agree.
That was definitely one of the most disgusting things I've seen in a while.
We did a lot of top lane watching, so I agree with you on that one. And at this point, you know, we can safely wrap it up at this point. You got any more analysis for us before I go to my usual outro?
Nope. I think both games. I think the team that won played a really good game of Dota. But I also think in both games, the other team that didn't win showed that they definitely were at arms with each other. I think it was a very clear demonstration of two teams that are. I expect big things from both these teams. I would not be surprised to see if they end up 1 and 2 seed.
Bold, but I like the prediction. Thank you for joining me, Colonel Squid. Do you have any final words, call outs, shout outs to say to the people of League of Lads and twitch.tv/Badger Pablo?
Shout out to Bulljacks.
Stranger shouting out a man who's going to lose 0-2 on Monday, but I digress. My name is Badger. Thank you for watching this 1-1 draw between the Feast of US East and Pig Trotters. It was, if nothing else, a pretty exciting 1-1. My throat definitely was not cooperating tonight, and I apologize for that. But next time the throat will be better. I will be even better to go. But speaking of casting, if you want to have me cast your games, cast your tournaments, if you want to perhaps hire me and Logical Dota to cast your professional tournaments, contact me on Twitter, twitter.com/BadgerDota2 or Discord, Badger number 5713. Not quite sure when I'll be back, but I'm sure it will be soon. For now, though, thank you for watching. Thank you to my good friend How, Rex Rampage for the subscription. Really appreciate that one. And as always, have a great night.